Hey, CFC, good morning. I'm Chad Turner, one of the pastors here, and I'm going to lead us in our Tuesday morning devotion. So we will continue in our study of Philippians 2 this week, and we are going to go a little bit backwards and hit Philippians 2, 1 through 11 this week. And there's a little slice out of that text that I want to read to you this morning and focus on, and here it is. It's verses 6 through 11. Hold on a second. Yes, verses 6 through 11. Here we go. Who, being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. And he's speaking about Jesus. Okay. Rather, Jesus made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man. He humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. So therefore, God exalted him to the highest place and gave him the name that is above every name, that at the name of Jesus every knee should bow, in heaven, on earth, and under the earth, and every tongue acknowledge that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Now, quick thing. This is one of those big passages where we always talk about we should be humble, we should be humble, we should be humble. It talks about earlier in the passage, if you've been united with Jesus, then follow me. And Paul says, here's how I want you to follow me. I want you to be humble. And humble means that you shouldn't always look at yourself. You should look at the interests of others, value others more than yourself. Quit being selfish, quit being conceited. And Paul says, embrace humility. Okay? And the reality is, most of us hate that word humility. Most of us hate the word or the challenge to be humble, or we're very confused by it. Because here's what being humble feels like. A lot of times being humble feels like this. I just keep losing, and I'm kind of getting tired of losing. Or sometimes humility feels like this, that I just keep shutting myself and being misrepresented, misunderstood, and I don't ever seem to get the time or get the platform or get the place to clarify or validate myself. But the call of humility just feels like you live in a world where you lose a lot and when you feel like you're misunderstood a lot. And eventually those inches add up to feet, and those feet turn into meters, and those meters turn into miles, and it's hard. And I honestly, if you don't know Jesus, I don't know how you ever really learn to live with that. If you don't feel like a wonder, there's more purpose to losing in life. But here's what I want you to see in the text. The text says that Jesus, who is very nature equal to God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. In other words, he was fully God and fully man. He did not give up his being God. He had all the power of his divinity at any moment he could have used. But he chose not to use it for himself. Okay? He took the form of humility. He kept losing. And the ultimate sign to everybody with visible eyes watching was that he lost when he died. Here's what it says. And he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. Jesus' losing got so bad that he got slaughtered, whooped, beaten, and he lost so bad that he had to die. At least everybody around him, to the Jewish officials, to the Roman officials, to probably the spiritual world of demons, they thought, we won. We won. He humbled himself and he died, and we won. And yet his loss in everybody's eyes actually meant he won. And it actually meant that God won. In verse 9 it says that. And therefore, God took his loss, God took his humility, and exalted him to the highest place and gave him the knees above every name, that at the name of Jesus every knee should bow. His loss was the door to his victory. In other words, his loss was the door to God's glory. And here's what I'll say to you. Have you asked yourself in a world, why does God keep letting you lose? Have you asked yourself in a while, why does God keep letting you be misrepresented or misunderstood? Or why does God keep letting you be overlooked or not valued? Where are the places where, you feel like your genuine desire to be humble just means you keep losing? And what I'm going to say to you is to cheer up and be encouraged. Because many times God uses all these ways we just keep losing to somehow eventually bring victory, to somehow eventually bring glory to himself and bring his plan. Losing in life is part of the path of following Jesus. And we never know how he's going to use it to exalt us in the future or exalt himself. But we do know it's part of the plan. It's in the playbook. It's part of what comes with being united with God. So here's what I want to encourage you. If you're losing a lot, if the path to humility means you just keep losing, then be encouraged. Maybe it means that God is more working you than you realize. Look forward to seeing you this Sunday. Bye.